Welcome to the GCSE Maths Advantage. I'm Dr. James Carter, and every episode I'm going to break down one topic, show you where the marks are, and give you a quick win you can use in your next exam. Whether you're targeting a grade 7 or pushing for a 9. Let's get into it.
Hook. This one question lost more marks than any other in a lot of higher papers last year. A 4-mark quadratic where students could have captured 2 or 3 marks by starting from a sensible value, but instead tried the full algebra and ran out of time. Sound familiar? If you've ever stared at the final line of an equation and thought, I can see a number that might work, this episode will show you how to turn that hunch into marks.
First, what is reverse engineering in an exam? Put simply, you use a given answer, a suggested value, or a sensible guess as your starting point, and work backwards to produce the method the examiner wants to see. You're not inventing facts, you're using valid algebraic steps in reverse order so the examiner can award method marks.
Let's walk through a typical 4-mark question. The question says, solve 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 equals 0. Write it down like that in the exam. Now, sometimes you might spot a number that looks promising. Here, try x equals 3 in your head. Do the quick mental check. 2 times 9 gives 18, minus 15 minus 3 is 0. That means x equals 3 is a root. Write that substitution out, not just the result.
Why does that help? Because if x equals 3 is a root, then x minus 3 is a factor. Working backwards, dividing the quadratic by x minus 3 will give you the other factor. So your written steps should show the substitution. 2 times 3 squared minus 5 times 3 minus 3 equals 18 minus 15 minus 3 equals 0, and then state you divide by x minus 3. That's a clear chain of reasoning the marker can follow.
Do the division, synthetic or long division, either is fine if it's shown. Dividing 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 by x minus 3 gives 2x plus 1, remainder 0. Then solve 2x plus 1 equals 0 to get x equals minus a half. So the solutions are x equals 3 and x equals negative a half. Write each of those mini-steps clearly.
Now, a quick word on choosing a sensible guess. You don't need to try every number. Look at the constant term and the leading coefficient. Factors of the constant over factors of the leading coefficient give likely rational roots. In our example, the constant is minus 3 and the leading coefficient is 2, so try plus 1 plus 3 and plus a half plus 3 over 2. Often one of these will click within a few seconds.
Important, explain why each backward step is valid. Saying, I divided by x minus 3 is fine if you showed x equals 3 is a root. Don't just state the factor without the substitution check, because that looks like circular working. Show the check, then show the division. That keeps your work watertight for the examiner.
Exam technique. How are those 4 marks actually awarded? In a question like this, you'll typically see M1 for a clear substitution showing x equals 3 gives 0, M1 for the correct division or factorization, M1 for solving the linear factor to get the second root, and A1 for the final answers stated clearly. So, if you can do the substitution and division, you may already have 3 of 4 marks, even if you fumble a later algebraic step.
What do examiners hate to see? 2 things. 1. Missing or unclear working. For example, writing x equals 3, so factor is x minus 3, but not showing the substitution. 2. Circular working. You must not assume a factor without a check. If you do the check and the division, the marker can award method marks even if a sign slips later. Remember, write it down, don't just think it.
Quick win. A 3-line routine to use next time you see a multi-step algebra question where the final factorization looks tricky. Line 1. Substitute candidate values. Show the arithmetic. Line 2. State factor implied and perform division. Show steps. Line 3. Solve resulting linear factors and write final answers. That's all you need to capture method marks quickly.
Add a 30-second sanity check.
Substitute your answers back into the original equation. Takes 10 seconds and catches most slips. And know when to stop reversing. If you've spent more than 60 seconds trying guesses with no success, switch to the quadratic formula. Reversing is a tactic, not a habit.
Now, a short recap. One sentence. Reverse engineering turns a sensible guess or a given value into method marks by showing the substitution, the implied factor, the division or factorization, and the solved linear factor. That's the flow the examiner wants to read. Let that sink in.
CTA. If this helped, share it with a friend who's revising. You'll find more worked solutions and a focused practice sheet at jcacademyonline.co.uk. The link is in the show notes. Visit the site for a pack of similar questions with model answers you can use in timed practice. Trust the process and nail that exam. That's your quick win for today. If this helped, share it with a friend who's revising. You'll find more worked solutions and revision resources at jcacademyonline.co.uk. Until next time, trust the process and nail that exam. Stay curious.
Bonus practice. Try this now with a 3-minute timer. Question. Solve 3x squared plus x minus 4 equals 0. Tip. List likely rational roots from factors of minus 4 over factors of 3. Try the easy ones by substitution, show the substitution, then divide by the factor you find and solve the remaining linear factor. Stop after 3 minutes and mark which steps you managed. Substitution written, division shown, second root found.
Suggested follow-ups. Try 2 more polynomials that have rational roots, then practice the same routine under exam timing. For teachers and parents, use this as a quick classroom demo. 90 seconds to demonstrate, 3 minutes for pupils to try, then 5 minutes of peer marking using the 4-mark rubric I described. Examiners love clear, joined-up working.
Final tip before we go. Don't overuse reversing. It helps you salvage marks when full forward algebra is slow, but keep practicing forward methods too. Same method, different numbers. Practice both ways and you'll build speed and judgment.